Joining us now, he's the head coach of the 11-time national champion UConn Huskies women's basketball team. He's led the U.S. women's national basketball team to 2 gold medals at the Olympics, and that's literally just 2 of the things on his long list of accomplishments. But the most important thing is that he is my coach forever, Coach Auriemma. You know I love you, the Godfather. Welcome to Takeline. Now, this year, we know we had another great season, got bumped out of the Final Four by Arizona and current dream rookie that we drafted, Aari McDonald. But how does the Blue look for next season? What are you expecting from your star Paige? We know she had surgery, so, you know, how's she coming along, and what are you expecting next year?
I'm expecting them to grow up a little bit and not be so immature. You know, we played Baylor last year, right, in the Final 8 game. So that game took a lot out of us. It was a physical game, you know, it was a tough game. And after we won that game, some of the younger guys, and maybe it's some of the older guys too, you know, we just have it. You know, you have to have a mature team to win a national championship. I think they went into the Arizona game and people probably won't believe this, we spent more time preparing for the Arizona game than we did for the Baylor game. Really?
How so?
Well, just more things to go over, more things. You know, we knew Baylor's personnel. We had played them. We didn't know Arizona that well, right? Right. So we wanted, and smart me, right? Yeah. I tried to okay, here's the advantages that we have over Arizona. Let's try to take advantage of those. Here's the matchup, you know, situations that favor us. Let's try to take advantage of it. The only problem is the matchups that favor us wasn't exactly our strengths.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I kind of, you know, so they went in. So after we lose the game, you know, their media, well, you know, we didn't know that it was going to be this hard. You know, we didn't think it was going to be. And I'm like, how the hell do you think that the semifinal game for the national championship ain't going to be hard?
Right. What?
Who the hell are you guys talking to? So
they see that 1,000-win jersey behind you, and they think that that's going to be them.
You know what some of these guys are today in college? They're like this. They go, Coach, I came to Connecticut. You won 11 national championships.
Yep.
And, you know, we have this many All-Americans. You know, Coach, I want to make me an All-American. And I'll be like, yeah, you know, what am I, like Subway? Where you go, hey, make me a sandwich.
Have it your way, Burger King, baby.
Yeah. She goes yo, make me a sandwich. Sure, I make you a sandwich, make you an All-American. What are you shitting me? How am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? All I can do is give you the platform to become one.
Yeah.
And push you and push you and push you. The rest is up to you, dude. So I said, I've never been asked that question before.
That's crazy.
I said, ever in my life, by anybody who's made All-American on our team. I've never been asked that.
I definitely didn't ask you that.
No, hell no. So the thing is, you know, a maturity level that you have to reach that I think kids coming out today think maybe it's a little bit easier than it's going to be. You know, they don't realize how hard it's going to be. So what has to change this year? Well, obviously we need more help for Paige. Yeah. You know, she makes shots, she scores. And Kristen had a great NCAA tournament, Kristen Williams. So I think she's building on that right now based on what I see during these summer school workouts. Liv really struggled, and she's, you know, working harder than she's ever worked. We've brought in a couple new kids, both new freshmen, and we have a kid transferred in from Ohio State.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So we definitely have way more pieces of the puzzle this year. We have a little more experience. We have everybody back that, you know, very few teams can say that. So I like our chances this year, and we'll see what happens.
You mentioned, Paige, you've coached so many great players over the course of your career. How do you fit Paige into that? You know, I was just thinking, looking at whether it's Rebecca Lobo, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, and now Paige, you can kind of trace the evolution of the game. How do you fit Paige into that kind of like lineage of player?
I think talent-wise, skill-wise, God-given talent. I think I've had certainly a bunch of players that have come with that. Somebody like Stewie comes to mind, where you just need to like harden her, and she's got things that you can't draw up, you can't teach, you can't coach. I mean, you're 6'4", and you got a 7'1" wingspan, and when you go shoot a jump shot, you jump, this high off the floor. So there ain't a guy in men's basketball that would have an easy time blocking that shot. And she needed hardening. Okay. Somebody like Diana come here. She don't need hardening. She came in here hard.
Yeah.
She needs to be like reined in a little bit. Like, come on. All right. Do it. Pick your spots. Somebody like Maya comes, Maya goes boom, 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 every day. And Maya needed to learn perspective. Like, how do I play with 4 other great players on the floor at the same time? And Renee, because she's sitting right here, was vocal, demonstrative, confident, cocky, walking around like, I got this, and projected an air of confidence that the rest of the team went, hell yeah, that's who we are. We're her. And Paige is quiet.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't say much. She's quiet in her game. Like, all of a sudden you look up at the end of the game, she had 27 and 12 assists, and you go, man, how the hell does she do that? It just, she'll go a spurt where she'll be like unbelievable, and then the rest of the time she's quiet. So her evolution has to be, she's got to get harder every day in practice and realize that the game is going to be real physical against her. And I asked her a really good question this past summer, 3 weeks ago. I said, if you were guarding you, I said, how would you guard yourself?
What'd she say?
She said, well, I wouldn't let me shoot a 3. I said, okay. So next time we're working on getting open to shoot a 3, don't half-ass it, because that's going to be the key. What else? She said, I would be really physical with me. I said, right. So now when we're in the weight room and we're doing stuff, you need to know, I got to do this. What else? I said, well, they'd force you left. I can go left. I said, well, I can go left too, but that don't mean I want to score going left, So, and I said, and these things come with maturity and come with growth, but there's things that she sees and things that plays that she makes that are just,
incredible.
They're God-given.
Yeah, I called the games, as you know. I called a few of the UConn NCAA games this year, and the maturity level. And I look at it and you see all these new faces, and I always wonder, like, what's the difference in the recruiting process versus when I was there? Because players are so different now. Just even as I'm watching players, like when we were there, we didn't have nails and eyelashes. We didn't really, but this is a different type of player now that I see in the tournament, and it's an evolution. So what's been the biggest difference for you just recruiting this new age of players as opposed to before? And excluding the pandemic, of course, because that was unique.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like, I'll say something like, what's with those nails? and they'll be like, what? I go, who colors their nails? I said, where are you going, to the prom? I said, what are we doing here? You going out on a date? Where are you going? I said, you're coming here to play basketball. Like, so what are you going to do with the game on the line, As a jump ball, you go, ooh, don't break my nail. Ooh, see how nice that is? Like, what are we doing here? I said, there's a time and place for everything. But today's kids, it's like, yeah, like that's my jam, man. Like that's what I do, you know. See, that's what, you know, and the eyelash thing, you know, like, so I'm like, yo, you're either real basketball players or you're like pretend players. I said, you know, it's a statement by you that says, hey, this is serious. I'm two different people. When I come play basketball, I come ready for work. And when I go out, I go out. Those are two different people.
Oh my God.
Okay?
Yeah.
So trying to explain that is a little bit of a challenge. And then the idea that, you know, I came here because I want what you have, coach, but can I do it the way I want to do it? I said, well, those two things don't go together.
Right.
Like if you already know how to do it, I would ask you how to do it, but you don't. So you're depending on me to show you how to do it. So when I go, it's like if I come to Atlanta and I say, hey, Renee, how do I get to the Georgia Dome?
Yeah.
And you go, well, you go down here, you make a right, third left, you make a, and I go, you know what? I'd rather go a different way. Then why the hell did you ask me?
Right.
Then go ahead, get lost and stumble around and find your own way.
And then come back and ask me again.
But because they got GPS, see, they think everything's,
yeah,
you know, that you don't have to put a lot of yourself. You don't have to invest a lot of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of like go, I got it. Well, if it was that easy, everybody else would have 11 national championships.
And bloop. Okay.
Responding to recent court decisions, the NCAA board of directors has changed the rules, declared that athletes can make money off their image and likeness. Have you begun to think about like how your program is going to grapple with these changes or what the effects might be?
I'm anxious to see what the effects are.
Me too.
I'm anxious to see what the effects are. So let's say you're Paige, who, you know, she was famous coming out of high school. Yeah. You know, I called her Paige Kardashian.
Oh my gosh.
I said, you know, damn, man. I said, you're famous. Wow. You're famous for being famous. I said, you haven't done a damn thing. And everybody's talking about you like you're the greatest thing ever. She goes, you know, to her credit, she goes, Coach, I don't get it either. I said, I'm just telling you, know, that's just the world that we live in. That's your world. So now she's going to be able to capitalize on that. And AZ's a big name in recruiting. So she comes here. So now she's going to be able to capitalize on that. How much? Who knows? So in the future now, you know, you've got 3 or 4 or 5, you know, high school, potential college All-Americans. And how's that affect the team when some are getting great opportunities and some are not? Some getting opportunities.
Yeah,
some are like a little bit of interest, some a lot of interest. Like I use this analogy. I said, listen, if LeBron and Anthony Davis are getting X, everybody else on the Lakers knows I'm getting something other than X. Like way, way other than X.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're cool with that. They're men and they understand this is a job and it's a business. You know, guys that work for Apple or Google or whatever, they know there's certain guys at certain levels of that company that get X. Wherever you are, you get Y. Now, does an 18-year-old understand that? Does a 19-year-old understand that? I don't know. So I think these kids may be under the impression that the minute this law was passed, here come the checks.
Like everybody.
Like everybody's getting paid. And the truth of the matter is going to be very few of them are going to get paid. And they're going to have to actually do something to get paid. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be just because you're a nice kid and, you know, UConn's #1 in the country.
Yeah. So it's interesting because, like, you know, at UConn, we fly charter, you know, my first time eating at Del Fresco's was with you guys and CD's teaching us which forks and everything to use. And so I think that there's this interesting dynamic coming, maybe not with men's basketball or football, but in a lot of the women's sports, Do you think that there'll get to a point where college athletes could possibly make more than the pros?
In women's basketball, I can see that happening. Like, what do
you think that would, how will that you know what I'm saying? Like, would that not be like, what will that look like if now college athletes could possibly be making more, and then when they graduate and go pro, they're making less?
It depends. It may depend on where you go to school, let's say. So let's say you're at UConn, because that's what we're talking about. Yeah. And now we have this huge UConn nation that follows UConn women's basketball. And it's actually national, okay, around the country. We've become like Duke men's basketball. Mm-hmm. Which side are you on? You either hate us or you love us.
Facts.
Okay? You hate us or you love us. There's nobody that has no opinion.
Right.
You know, you can say to somebody, hey, what do you think of, Kentucky women's basketball? And they might go, I don't know. But you say, well, what do you think of UConn women's basketball? Oh, man, I love them. I love their coach. Next person. I hate them. Whenever they're on TV, I root for anybody but them. Okay. But everybody's got an opinion. Yeah. So if you play here, you are inundated with media attention.
Yeah.
Social media attention. Now, you grow that over 4 years. See, that's the key. It grows over 4 years, provided you're really good. Now you leave and you go to the WNBA. Will that stay with you? Hopefully. Or will some of that, where will you go? Let's say you go play for the Atlanta Dream. Mm-hmm. Do they have a big enough platform that you can use to enhance everything you already have? Mm-hmm. I don't know. All that remains to be seen. No question about it.
That's crazy. That's just blowing my mind.
It's crazy, right?
It's blowing my mind because a football player just signed a $20,000 deal, so the first day out the gates. So it's like, wow, if that continues, wow. Yeah.
When they get to the NBA or the NFL or wherever they're going, what's going to be the determining factor? Well, I would like to think in sports how good you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing TikTok videos when you're in the NBA, that ain't gonna get it, right?
Oh, I might though. That's big money now, Coach. I'm just saying.
It's big money if you're a 13-year-old. If you're a 14-year-old and you're TikToking your butt off, you can make some money. I don't know if they want a bunch of 20-year-olds TikToking. You might be too. That may be that's too old. That's way too old for that crowd.
So, Coach, you were on the Olympic selection committee, and of course, you coached the women's national team to 2 gold medals in 2012 and 2016. How is the process going? How is the prep going? Where are you in constructing your rosters right now for the games?
Well, again, I'm going to show you the crazy thing about UConn basketball. In 2012, when I coached the Olympic team, we had 6 UConn players on the team.
Yep.
I didn't have anything to do with 5 of them. They were picked, like before I even sat down, they go, all right, here's who the committee thinks. What do you think? I go, I'm on board. I got it.
So this is that's a criticism that often happens, is that this is UConn politics.
Oh yeah, UConn politics. So UConn politics means what? You're going to keep Sue Bird off the Olympic team in 2012, or Dee, or Tina Charles, or Maya.
Oh no.
Okay, I don't care if you hate UConn. If you're the Olympic coach, you want those guys on your team, right? Yeah. You want to win. You want to win. So now the 5th UConn player, it comes down to somebody and Swin Cash.
Yeah.
So I stepped out. I said, look, I'm not in this discussion. You guys decide. And they picked Swin. All right. I said, I'm in. She has previous Olympic experience. She's this. She's won WNBA championships. I said, I like the pick. Now we got 1 pick left. And it was set aside for Brittany Griner. Now Brittany says, I ain't playing.
Okay.
So now we got a spot open. So I said to the committee, I said, what is the biggest problem that this Olympic team is going to have? Tell me. They say, well, this big kid from Australia, this 6'7", 6'8" kid from Australia, she is going to be a major pain in the ass. So we got to figure that one out. And now over in Europe, Asia Jones is Final Four MVP. Anybody who knows Asia ain't afraid of anybody, anywhere, anytime. So I asked around a bunch of people that played, and I said, all right, what do you guys think? And they said, Coach, man, you need to get Asia Jones on this team because she said, these guys, like, I don't know if they can guard this other kid. So I said this to the committee, and they gave me like a lot of pushback. And I said, okay, fine. I'm just telling you, I have to look down the bench. I have looked down the bench, and I got to make a sub. You guys never have in the Olympics. So I'm telling you, that's the kid I want. Now, I'm going to get off the phone. If that's not who you want, then that's fine. I got nothing to do about that. Took them 45 minutes, whatever. They put Asia on the team. Now we're playing Australia, semifinals of the Olympics. Tina Charles, Sylvia Fowles, Candace Parker are getting their asses kicked by Elizabeth Cambage. She is destroying them. She's got 19 at the half.
Oh my gosh. So
now we come in at halftime, blah, 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 blah. We go out in the second half. I said, I'm giving this shit 5 minutes. So they come out, they do their thing. 5-minute mark. I go, Age, come on, man. We go out. Here they come. They're coming down on offense. Asia's standing at the free throw line.
Meets her there.
Elizabeth comes over, and she's running to the block to her favorite spot. And Asia goes, bam! And like hits her like right here and stands her straight up. A sucker didn't score the rest of the game.
Wow. Wow.
Now, she was wrong. I mean, she was young, but Asia only helped us win one game. The one game we had to win.
Right.
All right. So those were the 6. Now we go to Rio, and you're going to keep Sue off, or Dee, or Maya, or Tina, or Stewie. Well, some people say, well, Stewie shouldn't have been on because she's a rookie. I don't care if she rookie or 35-year-old. Who's better? Who's a better player than her at that time? So it was the biggest collection of talent ever, and they all dumped on me. This is UConn politics.
Yeah.
Geno Auriemma this, Geno Auriemma that, blah, 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 blah. And Carol Cowan kept saying, it's the committee, man. Committee picks the team. They don't want to hear it. Okay, fast forward. 2020, 21, 22. Now we're in this cycle.
Yeah.
I ain't even the coach. And now they bitch that the committee did a shitty job, especially Geno Auriemma. This UConn bullshit's got to stop. Wait a minute. When I was the coach, it was my fault. Now I'm on the committee, it's my fault.
So what is it though? Like, okay, so now 2012, of course, you don't leave those names off. I think the sentiment is in 2021, are those names still the same power of 2012 in a sense of the best players? That's kind of what I think. Like there's a lot of discussion. Nneka Ogwumike's name got thrown out there a lot for not getting on there. So it's the question of like, yeah, you're not even the coach anymore. People still have a problem with the UConn politics. So what I said?
You know what I said? One of the things that I said to somebody, I said, explain to me, if you were the Olympic coach, would you take any other guard other than Diana? Even at her age right now. If the answer is yes, tell me who that would be. That you would feel comfortable going to the Olympics. And most people would say, no, I'd take Dee.
Yeah.
Last year in the finals and during the whole playoffs, was there a better guard than Sue? So tell me who's better that you would take. Brittany Griner. Is there a better big guy, better center, better than Brittany Griner?
Yeah.
If you find somebody, say Sylvia Fowles.
No, okay. She's top.
You want Sylvia or you don't want Sylvia? Well, I think we'll take Sylvia. How about Asia Wilson? You want Asia Wilson or you don't want Asia Wilson? Oh yeah, we'll take Asia Wilson. What
Tina
about
Charles?
Tina Charles?
TT.
Yeah.
Well, she's only probably favorite for MVP this year.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want Tina or you don't want Tina? So now those guys, like nobody on the committee would say, no, they don't belong there. We got to go with some new blood. Who? And then you go, okay, now who's next? Well, what about Stewie? We're going to keep, you think you want Stewie on your team if you're coaching that team? Or you say, no, she ain't good enough to play for us. So that's another easy one. All right. So now you start getting into, well, what does this team need now? Given that you took all those big guys.
Yeah.
What does this team need now? Well, we're kind of short on guards. So Jewel Lloyd gets the nod. Why? She played great at the World Championships. You could say there's people better than Jewel. Okay, tell me who they are that fit in with that group. Right? Now we need another guard. Somebody long, somebody good. You know, who? It would be Angel McCoughtry, but she's hurt.
Yeah.
All right. So now you don't have Angel. You don't have Simone anymore. Yeah. Deldon ain't available.
No, true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Maya Moore would have been in that spot, right? She ain't available.
Sure. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you got all these guys that ain't available. And the younger guys have not gotten to that level just yet.
Mm.
Just because you're one of the best players doesn't mean you fit perfectly with that team.
Yeah.
As you all know. So then the decision came, for the committee, Nneka, who's hurt, who plays the same position as Asia Wilson, Tina Charles, Stewie. The other choice that was brought up, Nafisa Kyer, who's maybe more versatile, maybe can play more different positions. Who knows? And she's younger, and it's a nod to the future. So whatever decision you make is not a bad decision, but whatever decision you make, people are going to have an issue with it.
For sure. I mean, their talent is so deep. Every year there's going to be somebody left off. That's just a given. We always say this, we could take 3 teams to the Olympics if it was allowed because of how much talent we have. But Coach, before we let you go, our producer is going to show us a video. This was after one of our games at the tournament during our national championship run.
What did you say to Renee when she came over to the bench and you gave her a hug?
I said, this is what you wanted, right? She said, yeah. I said, but we're not done yet. She said, no, this is different than last year. So look at her.
Thanks, Coach. Renee,
wow.
Coach said that when you came over, you told him that this is different from last year. How is it going to be different from last year?
Last year we were just so happy to make it to the Final Four, and I think our whole goal starting the preseason was we're going to get it to the Final Four. We're going to get our seniors there, and I think this year, our mindset is we're definitely happy, as you hear, that we're in the Final Four. But we have to go
that young guy
because last year we lost there.
What do you have to do in St. Louis for this team to be considered one of the best ever?
I don't know. I guess just keep playing. I don't try to think about that. I just want to win a national championship.
All right. Congratulations, Renee. Thank you. Bam.
Look at the squad. Wow, y'all went in the archives. You remember that, Coach? It's so weird how he remembers everything. Like, you just heard him say in the semifinals against Australia, she had 22 points at 19 and a half.
Yeah,
it's like,
but
what?
The year before, if I'm not mistaken, we got to the Final Four.
Yep.
And we lost. We lost to Stanford, I think.
Yes, we did.
In Tampa.
Tampa.
And they said to me, what does this loss mean? I said, this loss don't mean anything to me. I said, because we're going to be back here next year, and it's going to be different. I promise you that. As I said to the media. So now we have the kind of team that we have. We run through. Everybody's dancing because why? It's a big deal to go to Final Four, man.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal to go to Final Four.
Yeah.
And after that, though, when we get to the Final Four, There's no contest.
We were turned up.
I actually, for one of the few times, I felt bad for the other 3 teams that were there.
No, I remember that distinctly, obviously, but it's crazy because, again, you have 11 national championships.
The interesting thing about coaching is you don't shoot any baskets, you don't get any rebounds, you don't get any steals. As a coach, you just hope that you have the right people and that you put them in the right position. I think our success is based so much on our players' ability to do what they do best. And if I was coaching men's basketball, I wouldn't have 11 national championships, because a lot of the guys that stayed here and went to a bunch of Final Fours and kept winning championships would have been long gone after their first or second one.
Yeah, for sure.
So women's basketball is great in that respect, in that teams kind of come together, they can fail, they can learn, they can grow, and then they can experience something amazing. Whereas in men's basketball, maybe they get it one shot, they go to the Final Four, they don't win it all, and then team breaks up because everybody's leaving for the NBA or whatever they're doing. So people like, Renee, and I mean, how many Final Fours you go to, Renee?
3 or 2?
I want to say 2.
How do you know this? That's why it's so weird.
2, because you lost in
the Elite
Tampa.
8 on to do, and we lost to
Tampa, and then won in St. Louis.
Yeah, and
we should have won another game that would have got us to the Final Four, but we came up short for a lot of different reasons.
Yes.
So the success that we have as coaches is directly related to, getting the kind of players that can perform under those circumstances, and personality has a lot to do with it. Your temperament, who you are, and I can honestly say, for 4 years that Renee was at UConn, her temperament, her personality, her je ne sais quoi, that was who we were, man. And we've had very few players like that. Dee was another one. They just kind of they are, and everybody just gravitates to them. And I had so much fun that people say, man, that must have been a lot of pressure to be undefeated and go in it. I said, actually, no, man. It was kind of easy.
We had a blast. I thank you, Coach. And go ahead and win a 12th win. They can stay mad. I'll be talking.
That's the plan.
Oh, thank you for joining us,
I can get
Coach.
back on the show.
Thank you so much.